Good morning. I'm Catherine Osborne with the Our Lady Queen of Angels Liberal Catholic Church of Rio Rancho. And this morning we have with us the Right Reverend Lloyd Worley, the Episcopal Vicar General for the Liberal Catholic Church, Province of the United States of America. He is a university professor and is International Director of the Liberal Catholic Institute of Studies. Good morning.
Good morning.
Nice to have you with us.
Thank you.
Can you tell us just a little bit about yourself before we get into our questions?
Yes, I have been a member of the Liberal Catholic Church for over 30 years and was called to the ministry in the Liberal Catholic Church a very long time ago and ultimately was elected by the Worldwide Episcopal Synod to be made a bishop, and I was made a bishop right here in Rio Rancho at the Church of Our Lady Queen of Angels. So all of our clergy are worker clergy, so we have secular jobs as well as what we do as clergy of the Liberal Catholic Church. So I'm a university professor, as you said, and I'm in the Department of English, and my specialty is in modern British literature.
Sounds like a great job besides being the bishop. Okay, so what exactly is the Liberal Catholic Church? I'm a member of the church, but I really don't know that much about it. It's something that I should know.
I'm always glad to quote a fellow clergyman of another denomination who told me that the Liberal Catholic Church is one of the most interesting churches in the world. I like that. And he is at Southern Illinois University. He is a Unitarian minister, and he's fascinated with our history because we didn't break away. We didn't just appear out of nowhere, but rather the Liberal Catholic Church evolved just as a plant grows a flower. And what happened was this. In Holland, during the mid-19th century, which is around 1850 or so, the Roman Catholic Church, the Dutch Roman Catholic Church hierarchy began to have certain disagreements with theological concepts coming out of Rome. And they were particularly upset over one or two things. And ultimately they decided as a nation that they were the old Catholics and the boys down in Rome were the new Catholics. And so they became independent. Now, around 1880 or so, they sent a bishop to England to establish the church there, the Old Catholic Church, which he did. And his name was Arnold Harris Matthews. Well, eventually he built up a congregation there and brought in James Ingle Wedgwood, who was a former Anglican clergyman, and eventually that congregation was just thriving. But ultimately Bishop Matthews decided he wanted to retire, which he did. And his auxiliary bishop, Bishop Willoughby, also decided to retire. But he said, listen, we have a congregation here. Let's give them a bishop so that they will be able to continue, because without the bishop, you can't have ordinations, you can't have confirmations. So it's something you need for the life of the church. So that happened. And the bishop that was elected was Father then Wedgwood, and he was made a bishop by Bishop Willoughby. Well, the church continued to thrive under Bishop Wedgwood. Bishop Wedgwood was tall, handsome, charismatic, just what you need. Well-trained, intelligent, likable. And so they went along for about 18 months, calling themselves the Old Catholic Church in England. But Bishop Wedgwood brought with him certain new ideas about the way a church should operate, insofar as what it believed. And one of the things he did was to open the church, the Old Catholic Church in England, to many new ideas concerning the Eastern religions, for example. He believed in a very high level of tolerance, toleration, so that he began to insist that people have a wide latitude of intellectual freedom, He was influenced by the Oxford movement, which came out of Oxford University. And all of these new ideas, the church back in Holland basically said, well, you know, we're not sure we can go along with this that you're doing. How about changing your name? So he got together the clergy and the people, and so he said to them, well, what are we going to call ourselves? They went through all kinds of names, and they finally settled on liberal, the Liberal Catholic Church. Now that happened around 1916, 1917. So we didn't break away. We remained on very good terms with the Old Catholic Church in Utrecht, Holland, for decades. We just had a new name and new ideas about how things should work. For example, we maintained all of the sacraments, all 7 sacraments, and we maintained them in their plenitude. And by that we mean that we were very careful to maintain the validity of the sacraments. The validity of our sacraments is recognized worldwide by other churches. So we're very careful there. One of the things that the now Liberal Catholic Church did, and remember we're talking 1916, 1917, 1918, 1919, 1920, in London, one of the things that we did was to look at our Eucharist, our Mass. And Bishop Wedgwood believed in a Mass that should be uplifting, and it should be joyous. And so what he did, along with our second bishop, Bishop Charles Webster Leadbeater, what those two geniuses, they were brilliant, what they did was to go through the Mass and carefully remove all of these negative thoughts. I'm not worthy and all that kind of stuff. Because they didn't think really that fit in with the Christian message, which was that we are indeed worthy. God sent his alone born Son to us. You don't send your one and only Son to people who are not worthy. So all of that was taken out. And to do that, they went back to many of the ancient forms. Ancient Christian worship was very joyous. Mm-hmm. Singing and shouting and instruments and all kinds of things. It was just wonderful. So no, we don't do that. Our Mass looks very much like the old Tridentine Mass. So what we ultimately became was not a result of schism or breakaway or any of those things, but an evolution, a growth toward uplifting and joyous worship, and the idea of freedom of thought. We are not dogmatic. We don't insist that people believe this or believe that. Each person, we believe, must act according to his own conscience or her own conscience. People do that anyway, by the way. So even if we insisted you must do this, they would believe the way they wanted to. So we give the people the right, which is inherent, it belongs to them, to have a free mind. We don't have a list of forbidden books. Read anything you like. Read it. Talk about it. Think about it. We have no dogmatic teachings that are oppressive, because it is the freedom of conscience. What holds our church together is our liturgy. Now, the Anglican Bishop of Durham, this happened some 15 years ago at the First International Eucharistic Congress, which was sponsored by the Church of England. The Bishop of Durham used our liturgy as an example of the most beautiful liturgy in the English language.
We're going to take a break now, and when we come back, we'll get into a little bit more how you came here, what are the differences between the Liberal Catholic Church and the Roman Catholic Church.
All right.
Thank you. thank you. We're back from our break and we're talking with Bishop Worley of the Liberal Catholic Church of the United States of America. Give me some idea when the Liberal Catholic Church came to the United States. What are the major differences between the Liberal Catholic Church and the Roman Catholic Church? Do you follow the Pope? How do our sacraments differ? If someone wishes to join our church from coming from the Roman Catholic Church, are there any barriers?
Well, let's start with the church itself. The Liberal Catholic Church is a worldwide church. We are in practically every country in the world. In 1920, Bishop I.S. Cooper was sent to the United States to introduce our church to Americans, which he did. And he traveled all throughout the United States establishing church centers and churches. And we're coast to coast. So California all the way to the East Coast, you will find us. Now, the best place to find us, by the way, is in the Yellow Pages. Just look under churches, Catholic, Liberal, and that's how we're listed.
Okay.
We are an independent church. We have our own Episcopal Synod of bishops from all over the world. And we, therefore, have our own head person. And he is our presiding bishop, and he is elected. And he is vested with authority, not in the same manner as, for example, the Roman Catholic Pope, but rather our presiding bishop is more of an administrator. It is the Synod of Bishops, which actually is the governing body of the church. In the United States, there are 5 bishops, and we constitute the American Episcopal Synod. And of course, we are all members of the Worldwide Synod. We don't follow the Pope because, of course, he is the head of his own jurisdiction. We have our own teachings and our own regulations and rules that we follow. Now, we had, how shall I say this? The congregation is always actively involved in the church itself. The priests, the clergy, take care of the spiritual side of things. Then we have a vestry board that takes care of the physical side of things, the church building and that sort of thing. That has worked very well for us, and we will continue to do that. I don't see any change at all. The differences between us and the Roman Catholic Church are many. We, as I said before, we don't have oppressive dogma. Although we have teachings, but we don't insist that someone believe this way or that way. But rather, a person must come to a belief naturally through education. That's one reason we're called the Liberal Catholic Church. The word liberal today to so many people has a political meaning.
Yes.
But it doesn't. But as we use it, it's not a political word. The word liberal comes from the word liber, which means book. And so there, the word, in our usage, the word liberal means educated, well-read, well-rounded. We want our members to know about all religions, not just Christianity, but all faiths. We want them to understand our place in the world. We want them to, it has been said, for example, that our church is a mystical church. We have many of our members who are interested in the mystical aspects of Christianity, which is a very broad topic. Our ancient church fathers, all the way back to the 2nd and 3rd centuries, were mystics as well as hermits. So that idea of being free to read, to be educated. Other differences are substantial. Our clergy are married, or can be, if they like. And most are. I myself have been married more than 40 years.
Congratulations.
To the same person.
Congratulations.
I think the congratulations probably goes to her. We are also, as I said earlier, secular clergy. That is to say, all of our clergy hold regular jobs. We do not receive any salary whatsoever for being clergy of the church. St. Paul was the same way. St. Paul was a tent maker. That's how he supported his ministry. So it is with our bishops, our priests, our deacons. They all hold secular jobs of all kinds. So we've had electricians, we've had plumbers, we've had dentists. We have, in my case, a university professor. We've had accountants and CPAs. The secular job spectrum is very broad. What that means is for us is that we have a clergy who are united to the people. We hold things in common, marriages and mortgages and children, so that we understand what the problems may be, what the challenges might be for liberal Catholics. And our people seem to like that, and I think they're right in liking that.
So the teachings of the liberal Catholic Church, do they follow that of the Roman Catholic Church? The sacraments are the same.
They are.
Are there any barriers that are erected by the liberal Catholic Church if someone wishes to join this church coming from any other organized religion or the Roman Catholic Church?
Oh no, there are no barriers at all. Those who come to the liberal Catholic Church, the doors are always welcome. Whether one is married or not, whether one is divorced or not, there are no barriers. And when one should come to the church and participate in the liturgy, joyous, uplifting. People are singing and the organ is playing and there's a choir and this beautiful liturgy is ongoing. The moment of communion time will arrive. And if a person feels drawn to take communion, they are welcome, whether they are members of our church or any other church or of no church at all. Because we believe that who calls you to take communion is the Holy Spirit. And if the Holy Spirit draws you forth to receive communion, we are not going to deny that.
Even if someone is divorced?
Even so. Because, of course, we do not find that Jesus kept people away from himself at any time. He never said in the New Testament, no, I don't want to talk to that person because he's a tax collector. No, I don't want to talk to that person because she's, divorced. He never says that. And we don't say it either.
You mentioned that the clergy are not paid, that they have to have another job or perhaps they're retired. How does the church then support itself? Do they tithe further up to the presiding bishop, such as the Roman Catholic churches do to the Pope in Rome, or how do they support themselves?
Well, clergy, of course, support themselves, as you say, either by their own secular occupations or through retirement. The other income comes from tithing, from the gifts of the people, because they know that what they give is going to go directly to the growth of the church itself, that they're not paying salaries. They are providing roofs and carpeting and pews and candles. They're providing the air conditioning. Their money is going to the physical building itself. Their money may go to certain expenses which the church may have, for example. They know that their gifts go directly to the church. Now, a certain portion of those gifts will be filtered up to the Legionary Bishops' Fund and then ultimately the Presiding Bishops' Fund. And those officers of our church need, for example, they fly. They have to fly here, they fly there. So the church will take care of their travel expenses, for example. We feel that's quite reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
But gifts that are given go to the church and not to anything else.
Are the sacraments valid? Are they the same as those of the Roman Catholic Church?
They are. Our sacraments are universally recognized as being valid. And the word validity is very important to Catholics of all kinds. And we do consider ourselves Catholics, but we are of the liberal Catholic branch rather than some other branch of the church. A valid sacrament means that it has power in itself to do the job that Christ established it to do. That power relies upon a priesthood which holds apostolic succession. And what that means is the passing down of the power in an unbroken chain from the apostles to us directly. If you have that, then you can have valid sacraments. And the sacraments themselves must have a certain form and content. Our church has been very careful to make sure that the sacraments maintain their validity. Our sacraments are recognized by the Roman Catholic Church and the Anglican Church and the Orthodox Church and all of the churches for whom validity is something which is important. So yes, they're absolutely valid, without question. When we celebrate the Mass, the body and blood of Christ is the result, and that constitutes our communion. Very important to us because of the powers which are conferred therein.
Bishop Worley, I have certainly learned an awful lot about the church that I actually belong to. I want to thank you so much for joining us today, and we welcome you back at any and every available opportunity.
Thank you very much.